yeah, in very good shape.
Okay, Melini, likewise, we're going to put you in the team secret room and take Puppy out and put him on here. What do you do?
I think one thing that they share similar with EG is that they tend to draft a lot of late game, and I'm very surprised that they only went with the SF and the Viper that didn't scale too well. So just draft a lineup that scales well. They're good players all game. They don't really have a weakness in their timing, except the first few minutes, I would say. Sometimes they draft too greedy of lanes, which was the complete opposite of last game.
It's quite an incredible achievement already when you think about eHome. I think LD mentioned in the commentary that they were only just on the last day got out of that bottom four. Had to win a couple of games to get out of that and get in the top four. They've done that. They're now in the upper bracket. They get the worst possible draw in the entire quarter-final against the hot favourites, and they've won the opening game.
What really struck me about that performance is that you looked at AeroTK when he got out of they were going for the break between the two games, and he was super calm, super, chilled. He's a very emotional player. You could, usually when he causes an upset, he's going to show it. He's going to show how happy he is about the performance. Here he was not, I won't say he was unhappy, obviously, but, he was very calm. So that's scary for Secret. It means eHome came into that best of three convinced they could win. So they keep the focus. They're not surprised they won. They won. They're going to, they're looking to win the second game.
Yeah. Do you think that Secret, when they were in the pod afterwards, looked a little bit shell-shocked?
It seems so.
I mean, it's hard to tell from up here because we're not so close to them, but it did seem like it was a bit of a, wow, what just happened?
Yeah, they probably saw it coming, playing that game, they probably felt what was wrong, when he gets the boots of Charles. They can tell something's wrong, so they saw it coming, but it's always, all right, it actually happened. We just lost the first map in the main event, although we're considered favourite to take it all. So.
Yeah, okay, we're into the final minute before the draft begins. Any final thoughts from you gentlemen about maybe eHome take this 2-0?
I was thinking, what if Kuro had hit that egg one more time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was really crucial. They could have actually won that fight if they were able to destroy the egg. It was just really unfortunate.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that we need to say that, we've praised eHome's plays, and we've praised Secret too. That was still a very close game. Secret were outdrafted in the sense that if that game got to 25 minutes without them having a gigantic advantage, they were in big trouble. But both teams made really great plays, and it was still a very close game.
They still had a fairly big advantage, I'd say.
Yeah, they did.
Very quickly, 2-0 or 1-1?
1-1.
2-1 Secret.
My man.
I think 2-1.
Team Secret versus eHome.
The one and only, it says on their logo. Well, they've got one. They need two, though, to go through to the semi-finals and reach the top six for a guaranteed prize pot of $1.2 million. And that's a minimum. We're into the draft for Game 2 between eHome and TC.
Secret is they're removing the Corp once more. I believe they did this as well in the last game.
Secret or Radiant and first pick?
Both the games, right? The last game they were first pick as well. Interesting. They opened with the Shadowfiend.
That's that's very unusual.
It is, yeah.
Yep.
But I think between 2/3 and 75% of the games in this patch have been played.
So that means eHome prefers Dire because they.
Yeah.
So now the Winter River ban is very smart, obviously, because they're going to force eHome either to remove the Shadowfiend and give them something else, so the Gyro or whatever they want to grab, or take the Shadowfiend themselves. I mean, no, it's not going to happen. They're going to first pick SF and they won't have Winter River, and it was eHome's main answer to it, apparently. I wouldn't be surprised they first pick SF again.
Yeah.
So it was a good play from S4, with the ban pick, mind game. eHome probably have something up their sleeves, if they let it through and they decided to ban the Naga, or maybe they just got caught off guard, which could also happen.
I mean, could be a Gyro plus Dazzle this time out. No.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Team fight again, so they are very team fight centric focus once more with their heroes.
That is interesting. It's very early doors here.
Yeah, certainly one of the signature heroes of ROTK throughout his career, but not a hero that we see too terribly much of.
I really like that Secret went for the same first pick. I think it shows a lot of confidence, and that's definitely what they need. If you're a Secret fan, it's got to feel good.
10 seconds remaining.
So do you think that they will follow up with the same support, Dazzle once more?
Yeah.
I think it's a good pick.
I think another option open to them is like
Reserve time.
if they don't want a team fight versus eHome, they can also just go back to their Wisp strats and just kind of split around the map. I think a big problem that they had last game was not being able to push out lanes and not scaling well. And with Tiny and Wisp, or Wisp +1, I think you eliminate both of those problems with one hero.
Wow.
Okay.
That was quick.
Okay, so this is one of the more unusual drafts that you're going to see out of Secret. This will almost certainly be an Arteezy Anti-Mage, and then S4 taking over on the Shadow Fiend.
So if Secret wins that game, that means we're going to see later in the tournament some first pick anti-mage, which happened already at TI, but it's not the funniest thing ever because you get an anti-mage in every game. But I mean, it's very risky from them to pick anti-mage that early because now eHome can set up as much as they want. The only weakness eHome has in their draft is that, you know, if you want to like go aggressively anti-mage and pressure him, then you have a Darkseer safe lane, which isn't necessarily the best use you can do of Darkseer. Like, especially on the dire side.
safe lane is pretty good. It's better than Radiant safe lane for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna farm the camps as well, but I don't feel like Darkseer is one of those heroes that's really good at safe laning.
No. Now, if you're picking Darkseer, to me, you want him solo against a dual laner, Charlie.
Yeah, you want him to pressure a bit. It's hard to say. That anti-mage pick probably surprised eHome. Like, you must be surprised by this. It's very, very uncommon.
5 seconds remaining.
I still think they have to do something to pressure the AM. Like you talk about Darkseer, but Darkseer alone can't really stop the AM. AM is actually very decent in the lane against a Darkseer. You can always like get the spell shield early, and he can just blink and harass you with the mana break. So I think anti-mage is really fine with just one Darkseer alone in the lane. He should be able to free farm regardless, unless you bring more heroes in.
Even later on in the game, Darkseer is a very good mana void target.
Yeah. No, and I mean, Arteezy has played Anti-Mage, it looks like 6 times this year, 7 times this year, and I mean, he's over 750 GPM average on the hero. Just absolutely crazy.
And we haven't said it, but those are 2 Arteezy heroes, and they first picked 2 of those, so it's going to be an S for SF, I would assume. I don't think S4 is going to play anti-mage.
So what kind of pressure lanes are we looking at with Tusk out?
Undying, I think. Undying could be a good option here for them if they want to run dual lanes with the Darkseer.
Do you think they can just dodge it and then have a safe lane carry that's as strong as, if not stronger? Do you think Gyro +1 mid is good enough?
Depends though on the whole lineup and what type of support heroes they have. And right now, eHome has very strong lanes. They have Rubik plus Gyro. Their lanes are very strong. So if they do like Darkseer +1, any strong strength hero to disrupt the anti-mage's farm, the anti-mage can't really go anywhere else.
Yeah, I like the Rubik pick to deny it from Secret. That's definitely a Kuro hero. The Dazzle pick certainly expected. You'll see Puppey taking over that role.
Again, Secret's draft is, like, I mean, I'd say more balanced, but it still lacks a lot of disable for now. So their last picks are going to be very important. I don't think drafting something like a Spirit Breaker or Viper again will do them any good. I think it will. It's very scary. They need to have very balanced.
I think Amber could also be good, like because they don't have any stuns, and there's Iron Shell plus Amber. That's usually something the Chinese teams favorite to go. It's pretty scary in the middle game if you don't have lockdowns against that.
So what do we think here for Secret's offlaner? I'd lean toward an Earthshaker, although Zai doesn't play that hero too terribly much.
There's still a Brood in the pool.
There's still Brood.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, but there's Darkseer on eHome side, which sort of discourages the Brood mana pick most of the time. Especially
also if you pick Brood AM, although it can be good later on in the game, you're kind of forcing your opponent to go aggressive when you have an AM. You're basically, hurting your AM.
I mean, they do have the combination of the Dazzle plus the Brood, which
Templar
is very
Assassin.
strong. So they might be still thinking about setting up for the Brood, but eHome definitely has answers for the Brood.
TA, so they're looking to pressure the SF. I think in that game, if eHome manages to destroy SF somehow or really shut him down in the early phase, they're gonna do really good because first, they're gonna be able to pressure way more because AM is not gonna come online before minimum 20-25 minutes.
And they don't have to worry about taking the game late.
Yeah, exactly. And also SF is going to be looking to farm jungle because that's going to be the only, SF is going to take the safe farm, and that's usually what AM wants to do. So it's going to make it really hard for Secret to, balance their farming.
Yeah. So CTY's last game on TA was 12-2-11 at Mars TV against Empire, and that was against a Tiny Wisp from Empire. So very strong numbers on them here.
This pick will determine more or less what Secret wants to do. I feel like it could be really hard to distributing the farm equally between the Shadow Fiend and the AM, and I would say Shadow Fiend would more or less might have to take a sacrifice, like he takes less priority and given more to the anti-mage, depending on how the game goes for them.
I still feel like you've got to have some kind of AoE control for your offlaner. Tidehunter doesn't make sense because you've got 2 heroes, even 3, that can buy a BKB already on the side of eHome. I still Earthshaker I feel gets there earlier with this combo.
I think Shaker is a pretty good pick indeed.
Shaker is more like team fight focus as well. Like I talk about having pressure against the anti-mage. Like I think their lanes at the moment they can still do like Undying still fits very well with
You mean
their
for
lineup.
eHome or for...
For eHome, they can do like Undying off lane plus Darkseer, and Undying plus TA is... I personally like the combo a lot, the traps plus the tombstone.
And now they got rid of the Brood, which is good. So if they actually, like you mentioned, want to go for a dual lane, off lane, which they also could, but that lane is not the weakest though. Like AM, Dazzle, Witch Doctor is still a strong lane.
Yeah, definitely. Still
now
a
they
good
can
lane.
get away with the dual lane, safe lane that's going to control whatever Zai plays. Brood was the only hero that could actually pressure, I think, Rubik, Gyro in a 1 versus 2 situation.
Yeah, definitely. Not even pressure. She can even win the lane by herself.
Undying is actually terrifying to me right now. By is Spirit Breaker still good here for Zai, as in the last game?
I don't think it is. I think they need area control. I think something like Shaker, Magnus. It's hard to say. They need something very special.
Zai doesn't usually play either of those. He's more like, an axe bristle sort of a guy.
Bristol is like a space taker. I feel they need a space maker now because having Anti-Mage and Shadow Fiend, they can't afford to have a Bristol in their lineup.
Yeah,
I think
Magnus is too slow.
It's too crowded. They need someone to make space.
I think it can be a pressure lane, though, if you have, like, BB Dazzle.
Yep, possible. That would be possible, but if you don't do very well in the laning phase, it'll be very hard to distribute farm among the calls.
That is very interesting. Night Stalkers.
It'll still be something similar to the Undying plus Darkseer, or like you have a strength core, a strength support that roams around, and having the silence is very strong against anti-mage.
Those 3 heroes together, like Templar, Night Stalker, and Darkseer, the chasing potential,
They
it's
just run at
insane.
you.
This is very scary. When you're playing a poor Dazzle, in the middle of that, you have like Darkseer running at you, Night Stalker running at you, and Templar.
And you can't see anything.
How do you position yourself?
Yeah, and Witch Doctor and Dazzle is very vulnerable towards the Night Stalker this game. This is going to be very scary if they can actually pull it off.
I mean, if they get the 4-position Night Stalker with early eggs, it's just so devastating.
I mean, it's not even that,
Gyro, the mid-game damage output alone.
The Darkseer can go jungle and leave the lane towards the Night Stalker, so they have like some form of synergy as well between the lineup where Night Stalker would have a lane to go to and
I have to
have
say,
experience.
to me, that is again a flawless draft from RTK. It's very balanced. It makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of synergy.
Yep.
It's very good early game, late game. They have strong lanes.
The last pick is very difficult here for Secret.
It's quite impressive.
5 seconds remaining.
They're down to 3 seconds. Goodness gracious.
And they used, that's really what they needed. They needed area control and they needed a bit of pressure in the lane, but it's not going to be an easy game for Zai's Axe for sure.
Right.
Okay, thank you very much. And we are heading into our second game of our second series of the day. The last quarterfinal of the upper bracket. Is it about to come to a premature end for Team Secret? We're about to find out. Let's go back to the commentary team.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're live here at Key Arena. I'm LD. I'm joined to my right by Blitz. Blitz, a lot we want to talk about here as the draft concludes. eHome, very balanced, very versatile, leading 1-0 against Secret. I do want to follow up on what the analyst talked about, which was that eHome prefers the Dire. That is true, but they not only prefer the Dire, they prefer it over first pick. They actually had selection in this game, and they still go Dire.